All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you an incredible story, incident that took place. And this is with regards to my client. I've known this guy for now nearly 8 years. 8 years, we have kept in touch. He was my full-fledged, hardcore, student kind of mentee for 2, 3 years. And then after I left Dubai, we have kept in touch ever since. And time to time, he gets in touch with me to take my advice on things and guidance. So in this video, I'll share with you how he got an amazing offer from this Dubai-based company. Okay, all whites are there and they pay good salaries, but then he literally, told them to take the job and shove it up their ass. Okay, so I'm going to share with you this true story. Okay, and I just finished my conversation with him, and I took his permission. He said, "Go ahead and share." But yes, to be careful, I will change a couple of details here and there so that he doesn't get into trouble. Or it's always better to be safe than sorry. So feel free to put down your thoughts and let me know what do you think. Okay. So if you see me hesitating anywhere, it's not I'm fabricating a story. It is I'm trying to think how can I say this information without revealing his true identity, because we live in a very small world, and I've noticed that many times. Sometimes when I share like a country or a place or a person, people literally say, "You mean you're talking about this guy? I know this guy." I have to delete those comments. Okay. So anyway, let's start. So he's a guy close to my heart. Very genuine guy, lot of talent, lot of potential. But the problem is, he looks like a typical Indian, South Indian, dark skin, simple demeanor. He doesn't show off. He's very simple in terms of his clothes, in terms of his language skills, everything. But he's extremely intelligent. But the problem is, we live in a day and age where you're judged by your appearance. Like, obviously, when you saw me the first time, you must have thought, who's this drug dealer? Who's this mafia guy? Who's this abnormal? We do it. It's not just you, it's me, everyone. So when people look at this guy for the first time, they look at him, typical, the racist mind, especially in Dubai. They say, "Oh, Malbari, oh, this South Indian, oh, this Indian, he'll be, they kind of have this attitude, especially certain, not all, some Western expats like British, American, folks, and even some very few, some Emiratis. Okay. And he has worked for the who's who in Dubai. Okay. He worked for the ruling family. They had a separate, company. He worked with them in senior level capacity. But after a certain period of time, he didn't want to take any more shit. So he decided, okay, I'll do my own thing. Okay. But he constantly is on the lookout for good job offers. So now what happened is, he is currently working in a company where he's almost like the boss in that company. The pay scale is not very good, but he is like the king there. He dictates his terms. There's not much pressure. He's given a work-life balance. He can go home anytime he wants. He can be with his family. Means a lot of perks and benefits are there, which are not available in a normal company. And it's more like he's treated like family there. So he is the boss, he's the king. But the downside is the salary is not that great. Okay. So finally, he got this job offer. He got it a couple of weeks ago, and he informed me, "Hey, Loy, if you got a minute?" I said, "Yeah, sure. Tell me what's up." He said, "I got this job offer, very good salary. It's almost like two and a half, like say three times his package, three times, whatever salary is getting, three times more." So he said, "It's a very good job offer and all that." So I said, "Okay, what exactly do you want me to help you with?" He's saying, "I've used your principles in making the CV, in the interview, all that, but I have a feeling that I don't know whether this is legit or not. I'm suspicious." And I asked him, why do you feel so? He told me when they took my interview, they asked me questions on the phone and over Teams or Zoom or whatever, and they put on the camera, but they refused to put on their camera. When I asked them, I can't see your camera, they're like, you don't need to see it. We are evaluating you right now. So they just saw me. They took my interview, but they didn't let me see who the person. And this happened 2-3 times. And then when I said I would like to come to your office and see, no, first we need to pre-qualify you. So I straight away I told him, this is not healthy. This is not normal. Because even the clients where I have helped them get jobs like with the salary range of yours, they have met the person in the office, they have taken them, shown them the place where they work or the projects that they work, and that's how they, involve them in the interview process, because they respect the client, they respect, the candidate, and they want to be sure, is this candidate comfortable working in our culture? So I said, for me, it's a red flag. I don't believe this. Second one, if they're paying you 3 times the salary, obviously it's an investment. They have to take interest. And last, if not the least, he told me that uh, they didn't negotiate the salary. They didn't say anything. When I told them the salary, they increased it. Okay. So I was like, for me, it sounds fake. I would definitely say be very cautious about this. He said, fine. So everything was going fine. And then after, I think, nearly a month, he got in touch with me today, and he told me, hey, guess what? I that interview. Remember the job offer I told you, which you said it was fake, and even I felt it was fake. So he said, guess what? It's legit. I was like, oh, bloody hell, that's damn good, yeah. Okay, so 3 times the salary. That's a very good job offer. So what happened? He said, I'll tell you what happened. And by the way, before I even tell you the story, I've rejected the job. I said, why? What happened? So this is what happened. He said, they invited me because they wanted me to agree on the contract, everything just online. So I told them very clearly, if it's only going to be online, I'm not interested. Because I told him, you should insist to see the office, to see the work environment, to see the projects, to see everything with your own eyes. Unless they show you all this, no need. So he put down his condition. He said, others, I'm not interested in the job. They finally caved in after nearly a month. Okay. And guess what? The project is not online. It is offshore. It is, the world islands and all that. So they actually had to get like he had to go on a ship or something, on a boat or something to that place. And after he traveled with a boat to the place, and there were the people to welcome him, the HR guy. And then from there, they showed him the islands, they showed him the projects, they showed him everything. And by the way, it seems that the houses on these islands are sinking. Okay, the islands also are sinking. I'll make a separate video on this to tell you why this actually happened, and they are not talking about it. So some of the houses have sunk 17 centimeters. It might not sound very much to you, but in engineering, even if a house sinks by even 1 centimeter, it's a red flag. This one is 17 centimeters. And he said that almost all the houses, they are facing this problem. In the basement, water is flooding, paint is peeling off, there's a lot of wear and tear, the islands are not stable, drainage problems, water issues, so many problems are there. So I'll make a separate video on this. So I was like, yeah, exactly what I predicted. Okay. Then he said, after that, they showed me all the projects, everything else. They made me meet a couple of high-ranking people. And, I told him, meet the decision maker. Others, no. And they even organized a meeting to meet the big boss, the big guy. One thing what he noticed was almost all the people there were Westerners. Westerners, not many Emiratis or not many Arabs, but all Westerners. Okay. Then he said, there were no Indians at all. He said, yeah, that I got to see finally, but they were the ones who are working. And he noticed one more thing. Whenever these Indians, like the whites, the Goras would call them, yes, sir, very meek and all that. I said, okay. And then finally he said, by the way, the biggest, because I asked him, man, you went in the, in the ocean almost like what, 15, 20 minutes? He said nearly 30 minutes. Okay. I said, that itself is a major thing. He said, yeah, I'll tell you. Okay. Then he finally told me about all the meeting, everything over. He met all the decision makers. And finally, the HR guy who met him, welcomed him. He took him to the kind of like there's a premium place or something where they can eat food, all the upper management. So he was given like almost like a 5-star, buffet where he could eat the most luxurious food. Okay. And then finally, when he had to go back, because, others he had to wait for a long time, it seems he went on a VIP yacht where there were billionaires and millionaires. How does he know that? All of them were wearing Rolex watches, diamonds, this and that. He said, and they were dancing to music and all that. And I was sitting there and I was like, bloody hell. He said, I felt like a fish out of water because here I'm seeing people with champagne, this, that, and it's not my kind of thing. It was a luxury yacht. Okay. So they dropped him, and that HR guy said bye-bye to him. And he said, so when are we joining? Because every time when he met the director, when he met all these guys, they said, so when are you joining? When are you joining? Okay. Finally, he said, I'll think about it, definitely let you know. Okay. Now the salary is 3 times over. All the perks and benefits that you dream of, VIP food and this and that. And okay. So he told me, give me your evaluation first. Like he's very keen to know what would I say. So I told him, this is what I told him. I told number one is, the first red flag for me is when you have to go from land to sea. Okay. If you don't have your own private, say, jet ski or boat, then you are at the mercy of someone else providing you to and fro. And he said, exactly. He said, that is the first thing. Okay. And I said, another problem is, do they have like every 5 minutes or do you have to wait 1 hour? Or he said, you have to wait for sometimes 3.5 hours. It's like, bloody hell. He said, yeah, the first one is at 6:30. Next one is at 10. The third one is at 4 or 5. And the last one is at 7. And if you miss, maybe you're just stuck there. Like, what the fuck? Just imagine if you have to go to work at 8 o'clock. You don't have a choice, but you have to go at 6. Okay, I said that's the first red flag. Second one is, after you land there, I said the very fact that the HR guy came to meet you like a VIP, that itself is a red flag for me, because nobody will treat you like a god. This VIP treatment, like the HR guy taking you to VIP places and giving you the buffet food of VIP, so that's all bullshit. They are not going to do that every single day. Okay. And maybe that is a privilege only for the VVIP. Don't be mistaken that you're going to get VIP food. Okay. Because you'll have so much of work, maybe you'll not have time to even eat. And this I've noticed in some of the companies. And imagine tomorrow they say, no, you can't eat here. You can't say, cancel my contract. Yeah, they will put a fine or penalty on that. Okay. Then he said, okay, fine. He said, I was flattered about the food, but I didn't think much. Okay. I said, the third one is the way they conducted the interview, how they treated you like shit, because it's disrespect. I can see you, I'll evaluate you. You don't ask me to see me. I said, that attitude clearly shows that if tomorrow things are, shaky or things are not working out, if you want to talk to them, they will treat you the same way. They will say, why should I put on the camera? You talk whatever. I'll see your face. I don't want to show you my face. They'll make you run from pillar to post. And given the fact meeting them took nearly a month, when they want you, when they want to entice you, if it takes 1 month, tomorrow when you want to get out of your contract or you have a problem, man, you do not know how long you have to wait. And the worst part is, from land you have to go to the sea. What if they don't provide you with the means to get there? And what if you have to wait 3 hours just to get a boat? And when you go there, you find out they are not there. And then you have to wait another 3 hours to come back. And in fact, I asked him, what if tomorrow your wife has an emergency or something happens in the house? Are you going to wait 3 hours just to get a boat? He's saying that exactly what I was thinking. And then I told him, see, the very fact that the islands are sinking, the houses are dilapidated, things, they're just working on a project that is bound to fail 1,000%. I said, I am very sure, I told him, I'm very sure they are bound by a contract that has to be delivered in a time frame. So guess what? When there is time pressure, they will, the MD is not going to come there and sit and work during off days, nothing. He's going to delegate on a phone while being on a beach or having brunch in a 5-star hotel. Say, has the work been completed? I don't give a fuck. Complete it anyhow. Otherwise, just put in your resignation. So he'll pressurize the guy below him. The guy below him will pressurize the team below him. And I said, in the end, you'll have a Gora manager, white guy, who will tell you, I don't give a fuck what you do. You want to work or you want to sit at home? Complete the goddamn work. And I told him, this is a job which involves you personally being there at the site. You can't sit at home and just send emails. You have to physically be there. There'll be vendors, suppliers. There'll be issues. There'll be inspection. You have to be there. And just imagine 3 hours to get there, and after waiting and after everything finishes, you have to go back home. I said, do you know the amount of headache that is? He said, yeah, I definitely thought of that. And last but not the least, I told him this. Okay, today, there are some guys who are new in that company who want to prove to the management, and they're getting a big salary. Tomorrow, if they resign and they leave, they might not get a penalty or a clause. You'll get a new manager. What if he's Egyptian, Misri, or Palestinian, or some other nationality, and he doesn't know what you did or what you're going, but his only job is to prove to the management he can do amazing. When a new management takes over, they want to prove to the management that they can literally shake the company and show outstanding performance. He said, he'll make you work like a dog. And then they'll say, why are we paying you a high salary? And he'll blackmail you and he'll literally make you work. Then, I didn't think of that. And finally he said, yeah, when I thought about all this, the very fact this project is already failed, but they are just bullshitting and trying to make it happen. I was like, what if tomorrow it fails? They'll blame it on me. And I said, remember this much, maybe a salary will not be paid on time, or if the company declares bankruptcy, like B.R. Shetty's companies, maybe you will not be paid your, settlement, or maybe you'll not be given. Where do you go? Pillar to post, where do you go? So overall, he said, exactly, man. When I thought about all this, I didn't feel comfortable at all. Okay. And one final thing I added. I said, always keep in mind, our Gora community, the whites who are there in Dubai, okay? Most of them were electricians or plumbers, all that, back home. They have come here to this heat and this Islamic country because they want to make tax-free money, which they can never make back home. And they are getting a new position of power. So they may not know how to handle the job. And even worse, they may be not qualified as a leader. Okay? They will make sure that they take technical people and they abuse them, especially the ones who are desperate for jobs. And I told him, see, if all the Indians are like this, sir, please, sir, and you talk to them like normal, you don't call him sir and all that. I said, tomorrow they will discuss, this bastard, we need to put him in his place. Let's teach him a lesson. They will rag you. They will bully you. They'll give you work. They'll give assignments. They will literally want to break you. Then who are you going to fight with? And finally he said, yeah, I did. I didn't think about this point, but overall what I decided is it's not worth it. Even though the salary is 3 times more, even though all the perks and benefits, extras that they're ready to offer me, he said, I didn't feel like this would be worth it in the long run, especially the stress, the pressure, the lack of work-life balance. I'll maybe never get to see my family. By the time I come home, they're all sleeping, and by the time I have to get up, they are, sleeping. So I'll not have a life. I said, exactly. So in the end, he finally decided not to take up the job, and he told me they were shocked. Okay, because when finally the guy called him and, hey, when you joining? And that also a white guy called him. When you joining, man? And I told him, The very fact that they kept asking you, when you joining, when you joining, when you joining, means nobody wants this job. They couldn't get anyone qualified. They didn't get anybody. And out of desperation, now they need somebody. That is why. Because if they had got many applicants, they wouldn't give a fuck. He was like, yeah, that also. So finally I said, see, when they're literally trying to kiss your ass and be so sweet for you to join, it's a red flag. And in the end, he told them, sorry, I'm not interested. And I said, what is the reason you told them? He said, I just told them, here in my company, I'm like a king. I work whenever I like, whatever time I want. I know the management very well. There's no pressure. There's work-life balance. And they give me a lot of freedom. But in your company, maybe the pay is more. But the biggest hurdle is there's no work-life balance. And this boat, I have to wait for 3.5 hours just to get a boat. I don't want. He said, it's not worth it for me. He said, are you sure? Are you sure? He's saying, we can negotiate this and that. But he didn't feel it was worth it. So, very good. I told him, I'm very proud of you. Very, very proud of you, because you have reached this age and stage in your life. It's not just the money. Sometimes you need to feel that you really would love this job and want this job, and you'll sustain over the long run, not short term. And that is why he said no, and they were shocked. 3 times the salary, just imagine that. He refused. Anyway, true story actually happened. I've changed the details of his, obviously, will not tell you his name and all that. But what do you think? Did he do the right choice, make the right choice? Did he take the right decision? Yes or no? And let me know, what do you think? What would you do if you are in his place? And yeah, any suggestions? Any ideas? Anything I missed? Because this is what I felt when I evaluated the whole thing. So let me know your thoughts. Love to read. And I'm sure my friend client, he'll also read your comments. Having said that, good, bad, ugly, feel free, comment down below. This is me signing off. And if you want to get another video of the islands, what is happening there, I'll have to check with a couple of people. You'll have to give me a few days. So if you're interested in that, comment down below. I'll make a separate video on that. All right. You guys take care. It's me signing off. Ciao.